Today I'm Rhys. I'm from AlcoSafe. We're a specialist in alcohol and drug testing. We supply breathalyzers and drug tests into the mining, construction and any high-risk industry. The challenges of alcohol abuse in the industry, as well as the challenge of the behavioural implications are far-reaching. So we know that alcohol abuse causes people to be absent from work on a regular basis. It causes higher risk taking, it causes accidents in a workplace, and those are just the immediate effects. You'll have a loss of production, you'll have knock-on effects on the people's families. So the abuse is a very big problem, especially in a country like this where we have almost a culture of drinking. Whereas in other countries they don't suffer as badly because it's frowned upon to be intoxicated during working times. So here we have to put stricter measures in place to make sure that people aren't found under the influence of alcohol at work, and therefore we reduce those accidents by monitoring and putting systems in place to make sure that people don't come to work under the influence of alcohol. So we can have policies and procedures, substance abuse policies, which describe what we are doing and why for safety reasons, and then we'll have the procedures to describe how we're going to do this testing and reduce the number of intoxicated people coming into a workplace. The industry needs to become proactive to stop these type of issues. So rather than just telling people about the dangers of alcohol, we need to educate them on the dangers of alcohol and drug abuse. But then at the same time, just telling people about it doesn't do enough. You need to have some type of enforcement. So we'll set a substance abuse policy, and then we'll set the procedures to do testing for those substances. So we'll have breathalyzers which we can use at entrance points and to test based on suspicion or after incidents and accidents, and then we can use drug testing randomly to test for the various different types of drugs which are abused or being abused in the workplace. By doing those type of testing, we will really deter that drug and alcohol use, because people will realize that they might be tested and there's going to be a consequence. They might be put through disciplinary, they might cause accidents, but also in the end of the day they could kill someone. So rather than waiting for that accident to happen and then testing, we proactively test beforehand and stop those people from entering a workplace. There's a number of different tools available to assist us with curbing substance abuse. So the older types of instruments are breathalyzers. Breathalyzers have been around for some time now, but they get better and better, they get faster and they get easier to use. So we've got high-speed breathalyzers now which are available. The reason for the high-speed testing is because we can test in as many people as quickly as possible without creating queues at the entrance to the mine, so people don't want to waste time. So we test as many people as quickly as possible using pass or fail breathalyzers, and then we can do confirmation tests, or a second test where we use breathalyzers that give us printouts that we can use for evidence. So if we need to go through a disciplinary hearing or if we need to go into a CCMA case, we have that printed evidence available. And then for drug testing, we've got various different types of tests available. We have urine tests. Urine tests have been around for quite some time. You need to collect a urine sample and you can test for a number of different drugs using that urine sample. But now it's becoming very popular as a saliva test. The new instruments are extremely accurate. They're all regulated by international standards. So they have about a 2% discrepancy. So you will get an accurate result within 2%. Of course, they must be calibrated every 6 months to make sure that they are still reading accurately, and then a calibration certificate will be supplied with that as backup evidence to show that yes, the instrument was calibrated, it is reading correctly, and if we go into a disciplinary hearing, they might actually ask us for that calibration certificate. So we'll produce that to prove that the instrument is reading correctly and we're not giving false readings and falsely accusing people. So they are very accurate, and because of their accuracy and the international standards which they're accredited to, they will be valid in a court, in a labour court, so you can make those results stand. Cheap breathalyzers something which is not going to give you an accurate result, it will be challenged and you will lose that case and you'll end up reinstating that person. So the cheaper breathalyzers will end up costing you a lot more money in the long run because of legal fees and false accusations. I would recommend that if you're starting to do this type of program, the first place you need to start is that you need to engage with their employees and their unions. A lot of the time companies just set policies in place and then they have backlash from them for years before they start to run smoothly. But if we involve the employees from the beginning, we do a very strong education drive around it and we explain why this is being done, how the tests work, and why it's done for safety reasons and not because we want to catch people. Now, if we run a program for 6 months and we never find one person under the influence of alcohol or drugs, then we've got a very successful program because everyone has listened, they've realized the dangers, and they're not coming to work under the influence. So that's the best way to start it off. Once you have buy-in and understanding from the employees, you're not going to have as much kickback from it, and you're not going to have people fighting against the system. Everyone will buy into it and it will run a lot more smoothly, and at the same time it will be a much more successful program because people realize why it's being done for safety reasons and not to try and be a difficult person or a difficult company and saying we're going to test because we don't want people to have fun. It's always done for safety reasons because intoxicated people are a danger to themselves and a danger to the people that they're working around.